Alf, I missed you. It is good to see you. We are back from Seattle. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit jet lagged. A quick 3-day trip over to the West Coast, and I just got back a few hours ago. My youngest son and I have a routine where we watch 2 episodes of The Simpsons every single day. And it was actually, if you go back in time a little bit, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Who Shot Mr. Burns? Kind of a play on Who Shot JR from the old Dallas show. This might bring back some memories for you all that haven't thought about The Simpsons in a while. This is, I think, season 7, episode 3 and 4. Anyway, it's on Disney+. If you want to go back in time, we're watching the entire series all the way through. My son and I, my youngest, we started from episode 1, and we are right there at it's either season 6 or season 7. I think it's season 7. Who Shot Mr. Burns? We just watched those back to back, and that brings me right back to 7th grade when I was watching that. Me and my buddies had a whole summer trying to figure out who shot Mr. Burns. All right, we have a reaction video. My favorite topic, Alf, our favorite topic, breaking.
Oh, you get nothing. You lose.
Breaking was talked about, discussed on the Sports Cards Live, the 2.0 Jeremy Lee show on Saturday night. I tried to download this thing so I could watch it on the airplanes. I had such a long flight. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to download this and then I'll be able to listen to it on the plane. Perfect. It wasn't downloading properly, so I had to just watch kind of the 1 hour in there before my flight, leading up to my flight. The stuff where Paul Hickey was there, shout out Sports Card Strategy Show, and Chris Hoge and those guys, kind of like the last-ish hour of the show, Joe Perot, the genius. There were some things said on that show that actually shocked me a little bit, and that's what we're going to react to. Before I dive in, a couple of housekeeping notes. We are expanding the partnership with PSA. We're going to have a new show that comes out middle of March. There'll be more to come on that. But remember, if you have not subbed, if you have never submitted with PSA before, it's $25 off your first submission with the SCD25 code. 1 card minimum, only 1 card to test out PSA, see how you like it. And it's SCD25 at the shipping and billing screen. Take $25 off. Also, SlabMags selling like crazy, and why wouldn't they be? I found out actually from the SlabMag guys, I am one of only a few affiliates left that have an affiliate link for SlabMags. So if you want 10% off your entire order, a lot of you have been just hitting the affiliate link. I very much appreciate it. It is the Sports Card Dad promo code at checkout for SlabMags. All right, so let me preface the conversation with all of the folks that are on this show that we're talking. I have met all of them in person, and they are all considered hobby friends of mine. Hobby friends are real friends, right? Of course. So anyway, I've met all these guys. The one thing I like about all 4 of these guys that were on this show is they're all offering different card commentary, consistent content, and they have been for years. I really like Joe Perot this edition. Jeremy Lee added him on as a regular fixture on his show, maybe like a year ago, I would guess. Jeremy, let me know. I'm assuming you'll probably watch this. But Joe Perot is just like the best, the absolute best. And so I respect all these guys. With that said, Jeremy, I couldn't believe it. Actually, I can believe it. He kind of just took kind of a vanilla middle of the road, not really probably didn't want to come across as super edgy on this particular topic. It might not be that much of interest to him. I think I understand why, but we're going to dive into that. So I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, so a couple things that Jeremy said. What is the alternative, meaning to breaks? If breaking goes away, the hobby shrivels. That's a quote from his live stream. So the one thing that I wanted to put out there again, because I talk about this subject a lot, it's not that I want breaking to completely go away. That's not what it is. I think that it's excessive right now. I think it's excessive in our hobby that 40 to 50% of new product, that's what Michael Rubin said. He said 40%, but then other people in the comment section did remind me that, okay, well, what if a breaker owns a card shop? Because Rubin said we've got 40% going to breakers, we've got 40% going to card shops. Okay, well, that's 80%. So what if they're breakers and a card shop? How does that work? So anyway, it gets a little bit confusing, convoluted. And then 20% that goes to Walmart, Target, etc., the big box retailers. The thing I don't like is that there's such a huge, overwhelming emphasis on getting people onto Fanatics Live and into a break. It's like, come on. Why can't we have a happy medium with this? Simple happy medium is sell a portion of that directly to consumers. 40% is way too high in my mind. And it's the real reason why product has gotten more and more expensive over time. It is. Everybody can try to figure out and come up with different ways on why that is, but that is the truth. That is the reality. Brakes make new product more expensive for the average consumer. Has product just gotten more expensive over time anyway, meaning like inflation and stuff? Sure, yeah, okay. But when a truckload of the overall print run product is given to breakers to fractionalize that out and sell it into pieces, you are going to pay more for that fractional piece. That's how it works. Everybody's got to make money in this transaction. The reason why they do it, of course, and Michael Rubin said it, is because it's great marketing. They want the big cards, they want the hits to go out there onto social media, whether it's IG or YouTube or Fanatics Live or wherever it's going, because they don't have to spend that money on marketing. That's just free marketing for them. So that distribution method, they like that because it's killing two birds with one stone. Gets the product out and sold, gets the breakers off their back, they're happy, and then also it's free marketing for them.
You lose!
But why can't you have of that 40% that goes to breakers, 40 or 50%, whatever that number is, why can't it be more like 15 or 20% goes to the breakers and 20 to 30% is just sold direct? Just sell it directly. And I know what some might say, oh, well, then the bots are going to get it, or the breakers are going to buy it anyway, sell it directly. Come up with a system. Fanatics is all about their customer data. They've got everybody's email and addresses and all that stuff. Send out an email pre-release. Have a 72-hour, hey, look, product's releasing. The first 72 hours is for the actual direct customers that we have worked with before. We've got an email on file. They've ordered from us before. They've made a purchase on Fanatics Collects or whatever. You have their email address. And so you shoot out an email to all these people and say, hey, look, you've got 72 hours. Here's a link to order it. Whoever orders the quickest through these email links that we're sending out to individual email addresses, then you get the stuff. And that's how you sell off 20% of the print run. That makes everybody happy. That means you don't have to rush out to the card shop to get it. You also don't have to buy into a break. If you maybe don't have access to a card shop that's got a bunch of product in it. Maybe you live out in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe that's just not your style and you just want to order it and open it at your house. Not everybody wants to open up a box of cards in front of everybody at a card shop. Not everybody wants to buy into a break and open up those cards in front of everybody. There's a lot of collectors that don't give a damn about that. They just want to open it in privacy without a camera. Oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe people actually want to do that? But why aren't they doing that anymore? Because it's no longer affordable. It's no longer affordable to do it that way because 40 to 50% of the print run goes to breaks. And so I disagree with Jeremy that the hobby shrivels. It's just distributed a little bit differently. It's not going to shrivel. It's actually going to be different in that what's being shown on social media will be somebody at their house. Average Joe collector will show his hit if he wants to show it, opening his own box at his house. And this is a reward system for longtime collectors. And all I hear from the big companies is the collector this, the collector that. Service the collectors then. Service the collectors, not all of the gamblers.
You get nothing.
The other thing I heard said on this live stream, and actually I've had a few comments on this. Shout out actually Simon466 Cards made a similar comment on my video, another video that I did on this topic going back in time a little bit. Essentially it's the point of, well, isn't opening a pack or a box also gambling? Because of course it's random, so you're buying a pack, you don't know what's inside of it. It's random. The same way when you buy into a break, it's random. Maybe it's pick your team or maybe it's a random team or whatever. But what they're trying to say is, well, you don't know what's going to come out of that pack or box. Sure, but, and the big but here is that when you buy a pack or you buy a box, you get the cards. You are guaranteed cards. When you buy into a break, you are guaranteed nothing. Nothing. Frank, should I do it again? Nothing.
You lose.
Now, I'm a singles buyer, so why do I care? As Chris Hoge said, and as Jeremy had said as well, because they're also singles buyers. Why would they care when all of the people that are going into the breaks and they're opening the cards, that makes those singles available to people like me and like Chris Hoge and like Jeremy, because we're kind of in the same bucket. We buy single cards. Well, to be honest, for me, I don't really get a great feeling if I'm thinking about the hobby as a gigantic whole, as a giant community. Do I feel great that the reason why singles are so widely available is because there's 1,000 suckers that got in on some sort of a break or new product offering and got completely annihilated, 80 to 90% of them? And that's how we're able to get the singles that we want as quickly as we want. I think the other thing that's kind of interesting about that take as well is the biggest part of hunting for singles is the hunt. It is the hunt. We're now in a world with the social media, the break, all the stuff going on. It's immediate gratification. You know, it used to be, going back in time, that when a new product came out, the hits didn't all come out in the first 2 weeks because breaking wasn't as prevalent. Now, a new product comes out and 1,000 cases get open in the first 2 weeks. So all the big cards are out. I kind of like the mystery of it. I kind of like the mystery of, like, where the hell are these cards? One good example of this is the, the Topps Now, the Olympic triple auto card, LeBron, Steph, and I think it's Durant. Nobody's found that card. Nobody's seen it. I kind of like that. I like that there's a little bit of mystery out there, like, where the hell are these cards? If everything is so immediate, if everything is so easy, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like going fishing and, like, throwing a grenade in the water. And then when the big cards pop up, you just have to show up with cash. Like, to me, that's not really a hunt. That's not a hunt for singles. And we're kind of spoiled now because of the way that the system works. Now, a lot of the new product hits, they come out immediately. I don't know. Like, I don't feel good about the ecosystem, the way that it sits today. And that's why I make these types of videos, because if we're just looking at the way the system is now and the direction it's heading and just thinking, like, yep, I think it's actually pretty good. Like, I'm lying to myself if I'm saying that, because I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all. And so I'll put a link to Jeremy's show that was on Saturday night. Great show. I haven't seen all of it yet, but it's a must watch. I like how he's got a variety of guests. I was on there going back a couple of weeks. I like all these guys. But just like with a lot of hobby topics, I think it's good to respectfully debate this stuff, because it's not black and white. It's not so cut and dry. There's 50 shades of gray, just like the book said. And lastly, before we go, let's talk about this stupid Cheetos card. The Cheetosaurus? No. The Cheetozard that just sold. And actually, I'm going to message Ken Golden, because I really am curious to hear from him directly that this was paid for at $87,000. $87,000. The thing that's so funny to me is, if you go on eBay, there's literally, and this has been going on for a while. This isn't like people are reacting, with their own Cheetos on the back of this sale. No, people have been trying to sell weird stuff like this. I've seen it on eBay, maybe other places as well, but go on. Actually, I think I've got pictures. Frank, do we have pictures of some of the options here? Because if you didn't win the Cheetozard, fortunately for you, there are other options, other great options. Cheetos that look exactly like Pokemon characters or other things that are on eBay. And I think that this, again, is another sign that we're at the end times. We're at the end of this thing, guys. If a friggin' Cheeto that is shaped like a Charizard sells for almost 6 figures, the collectible space, not off the rails. It's completely in another galaxy. It makes me look, for $87,000. I don't want my kids open a bag of Cheetos. We're dumping all the Cheetos out first. Don't touch them. Don't eat them until we see if there's a Blastoise looking Cheeto in there. Because if this is a new thing in collectibles, Cheetos, we can't miss this boat. All right, friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.